Welcome to 12-Minute Talks, where important information is shared in a short time period. Learn from other business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts about what they do to help you find solutions to everyday topics in 12 minutes or less. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I'm excited to have with us today Giovanna Garcia-Pons. She helps individuals uplevel their physical and mental well-being so they can thrive in both personal and professional life. Giovanna, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Any opportunity that I get to bring people a new perspective, nuggets, new knowledge, that's what I'm all about.
Awesome. And Giovanna, do you prefer Giovanna or Gio? Because I see your business is Gio Balance.
That's
So,
right, Gio Balance. And some people may think it really says go balance. So either way is good, but you can call me Gio because that's what I call myself.
okay, then we'll go with Gio. Perfect. Um, all right, so before we get into how you help others in the community, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how you got started in this journey?
Yeah, so I'm sharing this story, and that is because what I do is very purpose driven. There is a reason why I do it, and it really starts from my time with the corporate company that I used to work with. I spent over 16 years with them. And I'm going to just backtrack and ask the question that most people ask along our journeys of growing up, and that is, what do you want to do when you grow up? And what I wanted to do when I grow up was I wanted to work internationally, right? Like that was my dream because I am from the Spanish culture. I wanted to fly the world and I wanted to be an executive woman working for a company. And so I went to work for the Coca-Cola company. And after working my way up, I got my dream job. And boy, like to look up, and I'm not even 40 yet and I have my dream job was like, wow, I never imagined I'd have it. And what was that? I lived out of Miami. I managed one of our global customers, and I got to fly all throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, negotiating beverage contracts with all these countries and managing people. And every day was diverse. I was in the most amazing place in the world. Now, here comes the but, right? And that is what happened. And 2 years into this 4 year position that I had, my work environment became toxic. My manager completely turned against me. And in not having the awareness of what was happening to me, I made every mistake in the book. Things like I got competitive. I led with my ego. I didn't have the right boundaries around my priorities. I wasn't balancing my time around self-care and work. And so I endured this for 2 years because I was of the mentality of change is inevitable. And so change is going to come to me. But guess what? It did not.
It
And
usually
so,
doesn't.
no, it doesn't, right? You create the change, right? And so I could not, it was like I was in a boxing ring with my manager, and you can only endure so much that finally she knocked me out. Like, let's talk fighting, terms here. It was a knockout. And once I was depleted, I was burnt out. And at that point, it's like she kept punching, 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 right? And that's where my performance went down. All other areas of my life were going down, and I lost my job. And in losing my job, I realized that my whole identity was tied to what I did, not who I was, which,
Right.
yeah. And so to be exact, I'm almost at the 5 year anniversary of this journey started, which is in July, it'll be 5 years. So that is where I come from. And so now I'm so passionate about going back and teaching others the tools and resources to have the self awareness that when they find themselves either in a toxic environment or in a transition in their life, they're going to know how to respond and react. That is why I'm so purpose driven and why I do what I do today.
Awesome. Well, that's a great story. It's, I think, very relatable for a lot of people out there. You see so many people joining the Great Resignation, as they call it now, right? And trying to figure out what they can do that they'll be happier, but still make a living, right? Or whatever they need to do. Um, and so, do you work mainly with individuals or businesses, both? And do you work with them virtually or in person?
Thank you for asking that. So I work with both individuals and businesses. And I do both in person and virtual. And how it works is, let's just talk about businesses first. First of all, I target businesses up to 100 employees. And why? For a couple of reasons, because my goal and what I do for them are really three big things. Number one, I help with engagement, which helps with retainment because we're working on their well being. And in working with well being, then I help the company reduce their health care costs, preventing them from going into the doctor, right? And what are the reasons why we go to the doctor? Two reasons. Number one, high blood pressure. And what does that come from? More than likely, stress and lifestyle, right? And
Yeah.
so, what I do with businesses is to get involved with their well being, to help engage them, retain them, and then help to drive down their health care costs today. That's
I'm
the
gonna
big
pause. I'm gonna pause you there because I think that's very interesting. A lot of businesses have like a self-funded type of health insurance, right? Which is based on underwriting and based on, you know, their employees' health overall. So that would definitely be a great way to reduce their costs, right? If, like you mentioned, they're using their insurance less. So I hadn't thought about that. That's
yeah.
rather interesting.
And I'll give you another fact, right? Why do I target companies no more than 100 employees? Because when you look at these healthcare providers and carriers, I'm not going to say that they don't care about the smaller companies, but the smaller companies with less employees don't get these elaborate big plans that have these sophisticated, amazing wellness programs with them. So, if anything, they just kind of get something thrown at them as a bonus. But the actuality that the employee is going to engage in that wellness program is very little. So, I come in there and enhance what they have and give them a hands on approach where then they can see or they can have the evidence of if they do and change certain habits, there's certain results that come to that.
Awesome. And so, Gio, what do you think sets you apart from other people that might do something similar to what you do?
Yeah, number one, I am purpose driven. I just told you my story. This is what drives me. And I'll be honest with you, I've tried to do other things. And let me tell you, it has not worked out. And so I have finally just surrendered and said, no, this is my purpose and this is what I'm meant to do. So, first of all, I am purpose driven and I pass a very important gate. And how you know that I'm purpose driven and I'm going to be passionate and make a difference with your employees is because if I'm willing to do this for free, then I know this is exactly where I need to be. So, purpose and passion is one thing. The authenticity that I bring and connect with your people to make them feel safe and then be able to engage with me. That's number one. That's the biggest seller. And then number two, I just don't come in and talk to them. I put them to work. I get them to start create to begin creating the evidence to show them that it is possible, right? And so I get immersed in the trenches and I become part of your company where then they get to actually put to action. So purpose and action, that is what sets me apart.
Fantastic, and that's definitely important things because, a lot of times corporations or small businesses will bring in an expert. They'll just be there for like a day and that's it, and then they're gone to their next business, right? But that's good that you have a hands-on approach that's actionable, which is really important, as well as obviously having that purpose behind it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so, Jill, we're almost getting here to the end. So, can you tell the audience here how they can reach out to you if they would like more information?
Absolutely. So, if you have interest in bettering your well being and getting what it is that you desire, you can reach out to me for any discovery call, or if you have any questions or anything, right? Because just one call to me, you're going to get value. And that is go through my website, which is giobalance.com. Now, I'm currently um, kind of rebranding and making it better. But if you go to the page, it will have links on how you can email me, how you can schedule a discovery call. So that's the best way to reach me. Website, geobalance.com, or Instagram at geobalance, or you can find me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And like always, we will have all of the links down below. So anybody watching the video or listening to the audio here can easily reach out to our guest today. And I just wanted to quickly introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. My name's Lorena Tomasini, and I'm the owner of Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency, where together with my mom, we help families and businesses with their financial protection needs. And Gio, it's been great having you on today on the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I do have one random question for you here. What would you say is one or two habits that you think employees probably um, should develop in order to be more productive?
You know what? Evaluate your time, right? Where are you spending your time? I invite you, or I could say I challenge you, just like we log our food on a daily basis when we're trying to lose weight, for productivity, log your time for a day, preferably for a week. And when I mean log your time, I mean from 6:30 to 6:45, I took a shower, right? I got on email a certain time. And then after you do that, take a look and add up the hours that are accumulating in certain areas where you might find that you might get on the computer just to check social media real quick because you're going to put a post, and next thing you know, you've spent 2 hours. Well, guess what? Those 2 hours over a week are a lot of time. So
Yeah,
log your time for a week and then see where it is that you're wasting time. Get rid of it.
very valuable information. Those 2 hours are like a part-time job for some people, right? Yeah, definitely. All right, Gio, well, it's been great having you today. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, that's it. I would just leave them with listen, you matter, and your well being should be a priority no matter where you are in life.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this podcast and hope you will listen to the next one. I'm Lorena Tomasini, and you can contact me via email life@malmins.com. Make it a great day.